Hey everyone, we have explored Snowflake roles conceptually from global org admin to public. Today we are going hands-on. I'll show you step-by-step process on how to create a new role, assign privileges, create a user, and link the two. By the end, you'll see how Snowflake's access control works in action. Let's first log into Snowflake. If you're using a free trial account, you're essentially the account admin by default. That means you already have all permissions to create roles. But in the real organization, things are a bit different. You may have limited roles assigned based on your job responsibilities. Only someone with account admin or security admin privileges can create new roles and assign them to others. You can check your current role on the top right of your Snowflake UI and switch roles if needed. You're on the new worksheet anyways. So let's create a new role called Data Analyst. Let's execute this. Data Analyst role is successfully created. And this is the custom role or name of your new role. In a company, this might be used for anyone who needs access to specific analytics databases. So your step 1 of role creation is already done, but a role creation doesn't do much until it has privileges. A role without permissions is like an employee without access to any department. Let's grant the data analyst role permission to read data from a database. Let's run the next SQL clause, that is granting select on all tables in the schema within MyDB to this role data analyst. It is like a simple plain text. The role data analyst that we just created can access all the schemas within MyDB through this grant select on all tables clause. All right, let's execute this. Cannot perform grant because this session does not have a current database. Call use database or user qualified name. If you see here, this is telling us that no database selected. So let's select the database here. At select, I have selected MyDB. You can select any other databases as well. All right, execute this. We have given only database here. We should be giving the schema name actually. That is my schema. Let's see if we get any new messages or alert messages with this run. Oh, 2 times MyDB. Let's delete this. Execute it now. See, statement executed successfully. With this, data analyst has got select permission on all the tables within the schema, my schema, in the database MyDB. This is our step 2. Similarly, this is step 1. What is step 3? We need to create a user. Why do we create a user? Say if you are a user, you need access on a specific table, but like in a traditional database, you will not be able to get the access within Snowflake directly on the table. That's what the concept of role-based access control, right? Let's create a user with the password, default role, and must change password equal to true. Let's execute this. See, user is successfully created. But in most of the organizations, the recommendation is not to create a specific username for each and every user. Instead, they tag this with your SSO, single sign-on. That is your Azure login or your account login through which you will be able to log into your every system. Your Snowflake username will be tagged to your SSO. But since we don't use SSO in our practice session, we have explicitly created a user, John Doe. When John logs in, the data analyst role is active by default, and the must change password adds a security step for the first time login. This is our step 3. What's our step 4? Which is assigning role to the user. We created a role, granted permission to the role, we created a user. For us to link these two, now the role has to be assigned to the user. Let's do that. grant role data analyst to the user. See, now everything is connected. Let's see the user has the role and the privileges we just assigned. Let's execute these two. Using this show grants command, we wanted to see what grants does the user John Doe has. See, granted by account admin, grantee name is John Doe, granted to the user, which role is assigned? Data analyst role is assigned. Now let's see what grants are assigned to the data analyst. See, select. We have assigned select privilege on this tables of the schema, my schema, to the data analyst. That's exactly what we are seeing in our last step. Now, and that's it. You have created a role, assigned privileges, added a user, you linked the role and the user, and verified access. So it's time for a quick practice. Get your hands dirty and let me know your experience in the comments. See you soon.